Ms. Fatima Yasmin, Secretary, Economic Relations Division. Respected Mr. Junichi Yamada, Executive Senior Vice President of JICA. Learned panelists and discussants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Konnichiwa. I would like to begin by thanking this august gathering for your kind presence at today's seminar. Let me first congratulate JICA for reaching the milestone of 58 years of their operation in Bangladesh. We are glad to host this seminar in collaboration with JICA to celebrate this auspicious occasion by arranging this event. So far, I have been listening to the distinguished speakers at the seminar, and from the valuable discussion, we have been able to learn many things. At this juncture, I would like to take the privilege of say a few words now. Distinguished guests, you are aware that soon after our independence in 1971, Japan was one of the first countries to recognize and establish diplomatic relations with Bangladesh on 10th February 1972. 50 years have passed since then. Accordingly, on last 10th February this year, we have celebrated the Golden Jubilee or the 50th anniversary of that remarkable journey in a grand manner, both in Tokyo and Dhaka. The logo that was prepared for that occasion symbolizes the mood of Bangladesh-Japan friendly relationship. The embassy organized a reception which also included an exhibition of diplomatic archive documents and photographs unveiling of commemorative stamps and silver coins. Distinguished guests, Japan was one of the first countries to recognize Bangladesh soon after independence. Our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, in one of his first new visits abroad, undertook an official visit to Japan in October 1973. Here he was received with much warmth and respect. The historic visit of Bangabandhu had set the tone of the bilateral relations and laid down the rock-solid foundation of lasting friendship between our two countries and its people. Later, that steadfast bond with Japan was continued by his able daughter, Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who followed her father's legacy and visited Japan as Prime Minister for 5 times to further strengthen our bilateral relations. At that time, former Japanese Prime Minister His Excellency Shinzo Abe visited Bangladesh in 2014. During the Japan visit of our Prime Minister in 2014, after the summit meeting between the two heads of the government, the relationship of Bangladesh and Japan was elevated as comprehensive partnership. You are already aware about that. Under the comprehensive partnership, the bilateral relations witnessed significant progress in recent years. Japan increased its financial and technical assistance under the Bay of Bengal Industrial Growth Belt Big B initiative, which complemented Bangladesh government's efforts in augmenting infrastructure, communication, power and energy sectors. Japan built the Bangabandhu Bridge on mighty river Jamuna and now constructing Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Railway Bridge, Dhaka Mass Rapid Transit Project, Hazrat Shah Jalan International Airport Terminal 3 and Matarbari Alta Super Power Project, to name a few. Most of these projects are anticipated to be completed by 2026, the year Bangladesh is expected to become a developing country. Distinguished guests, you know that Japan is the single largest bilateral development partner of Bangladesh, and JICA is the agency to supply the Japanese ODA support to Bangladesh. I am glad to note that Since independence, Japan has committed to provide support of more than $28 billion US in the form of grants, loans and technical assistance. But the disbursements up to April 2022 has been recorded around 64% of the commitment. While this is a significant percentage, but I understand that more disbursement will become possible in the coming years since big projects by JICA support are under implementation. A lot of construction works are being ongoing and those will generate increased disbursement flow from the JICA side. Dear guests, in addition to supporting the infrastructural development projects of Bangladesh, JICA is also helping the social sector improvement, particularly human resources development of Bangladesh. For example, JDS scholarship. I am glad to note that government of Japan has provided a scholarship for public officials of Bangladesh, including Central Bank for Higher Studies in Japan. That is certainly helping the capacity development of the government of Bangladesh. I would like to thank JICA for their relentless support in our education sector as well. Learned friends, along with the passage of JICA's ODA support to Bangladesh, many Japanese companies have been going to Bangladesh for business and investment. You are aware that Bangladesh offers the most liberal and investment-friendly environment with fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, which is the most competitive in South Asia. At present, about 326 Japanese companies have their presence in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has been ranked among top 20 promising countries for the second consecutive year in a survey conducted by the Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JICA, in 2021. More than 9 special economic zones out of 100 are already in full swing. You have heard that among those economic zones, one is built exclusively for Japanese investors, being prepared by JICA in Araihazar near Dhaka, Narayanagar. We encourage more and more Japanese investors to invest in Bangladesh. As discussed today, I would like to mention about the past success of Japanese Overseas Cooperation Volunteers, JOCB, through which the JICA volunteers worked in various areas of Bangladesh by staying there. That program has been suspended since 2016 due to the unfortunate holy artisan incident in Dhaka. But you are aware that the law and order situation in Bangladesh is quite good and satisfactory. Actually, Bangladesh follows the principle of zero tolerance against all sorts of terrorist activities. Therefore, I would like to reiterate our request to the appropriate authority to resume this very important program and start sending JICA volunteers to Bangladesh again. I would like to conclude by thanking everyone of JICA and our embassy officials for successful arrangements of today's seminar. I would also like to thank the discussants for bringing out new ideas on the expectations for JICA's future cooperation with Bangladesh. I believe the concerned officials have jotted down the substantive recommendations that came out today. This will certainly contribute in further improving the activities of the JICA and Bangladesh officials to ensure the best possible utilization of the ODA support in Bangladesh. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimashita. Joy Bangla.